Cool. So, to start, just give us a little background, who you are, kind of where you were at before you started the program, and why you wanted to join.
Yeah, I'm Cy Manus, right-handed pitcher from Lexington, Tennessee. Committed to go play at Dyersburg State Community College. And before I started the program, I was probably 86, 88, you know, topping like 90 in game. And at the end of my junior year, I got a partially torn UCL. And right when I got rehab from that, I knew I needed a program that I could trust. And so I found Ryan and we got to work.
Absolutely. Um, what were your initial goals when you first started? And I guess kind of what was the progress like getting to them?
Oh, well, velo really wasn't like a main concern because, I know that's going to come with it, but just throwing pain free and just keeping my arm healthy and good condition, that was one of the big things for me. And, velo was just a plus for that. Like, I was, mid eights, topping like a 90 in game, and then now I'm 88, 92, hitting 94. So it's definitely been a big jump.
Yeah. You attribute a lot of that jump just to moving better and just feeling better in general and being
Yes.
like consistently trained.
hmm Yeah. Consistency and like just having like a actual plan day to day of like what to do. Yeah. It's definitely helps.
100%. I know that was one thing we talked about when you first got on, is just kind of having that structure,
hmm
being able to be consistent with it. Because I obviously, like you had been up to upper 80s and touching 90 before you started. Like we knew you had some velo in the tank, and it was a matter of getting you kind of just treating everything more like a professional and taking it more serious. And the more you did that, obviously, the velo
hmm
took off with it. With those, obviously you had some pretty good velo gains. Did you have any significant gains in the weight room or like body weight wise, body composition, anything like that?
Strength wise, I would say yes. Like not as major as like my mobility. I think that's one thing that just like majorly improved. Like before I was just like a really tight, stiff mover. Now I feel like I can get into some like pretty gnarly positions.
Do you think that kind of just comes from the mobility training being consistent
Yeah.
as well?
hmm
Nice. What was it about the program that made it easier for you to be consistent and easier for you to like make those gains?
Just like trusting you, you're obviously a big league coach, what you're talking about. Like you want me to succeed as much as I want me to succeed, I feel like.
For sure.
And, you know, I'm investing all this time into it and
For sure.
yeah.
Do you think it's something that like because you trust the guidance you're getting, like you can kind of just
Yeah,
turn your brain off, follow the plan, and just go?
exactly. hmm
Yeah, good. Yeah, I mean that's kind of my goal, especially with guys like you that are athletic and pretty good coming in the door. And like I said, just kind of need that structure. Biggest
Yeah.
thing is like letting the dog eat. Like I'm not gonna
hmm
try to get you domed up about thinking about too much stuff and trying to figure out every little thing. It's like, here's a plan that should work for you. If it doesn't, we'll adjust it. But in most cases, and for you, obviously, it did work. And just having that consistent structure is something that you can kind of learn
Yeah.
from and carry with you as you continue in your career as well.
Yeah, for sure.
Um, so I guess like arm health wise was obviously your first goal to feel good, not have issues with the elbow or really the arm in
Yeah.
general. Um, talk about like how that progression went when you first started, how the arm health got better and better, and like kind of where you're at in the season now.
Yeah. So like when I first started, I was I had a little bit of tightness in my elbow just from like, just like inflammation, but like managing my workload, like the throwing program that you put me on, just managing the workload and like just being consistent with that, hitting the arm care, just taking care of my body. It helps a lot. Eating consistent, sleeping good, you know, there's a lot more that goes into it other than just arm stuff.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you feel like did you ever focus on nutrition quality and like sleep quality and stuff before you started? What
No.
kind of made you get on that wave?
I knew that if I wanted to like take baseball serious and make a career out of it, I need to start doing like the little things. And yeah, I think you made that like a point that you have to eat consistent, train consistent, sleep consistent. Just everything just has to be consistent. The results will show.
100%. Um, I guess let's talk a little bit about kind of your season. Obviously, you had a pretty good year in your senior year of high school. Were able to commit to go play at a good school for next year. Um, Talk about how the training over the off season prepared you, not just physically, but also like mentally. Did you feel like you were more confident and more prepared? And then now, obviously, going into college ball next year, do you feel more prepared for the future now than you did prior to starting?
Yeah, I feel like the training and stuff that I've been doing has like put me like a notch above like my competition. And I was pretty confident, I could get guys out.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Was this something that like almost surprised you when you first started throwing harder and feeling good that like you kind of had a little extra spunk when you were on the mound or
Yeah. It definitely gives you a little flair when
yeah,
you're up there. Like in the back of your mind that you're better than these guys.
yeah, for sure. Um, Before you started the program, did you have any hesitations or like concerns about starting that kind of made you hold up a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit. Just like I didn't know if it'd be like kind of like a one size fits all program, like a cookie cutter program, but I hopped on that call with you and it didn't seem that way. So that gave me a lot of confidence and going forward.
100%. Do you like I guess how quickly did it like turn into you kind of figuring out that like, hey, this isn't just a easy cookie cutter 6 week program. Like this is an actual just like mentorship and working together to get to my goals.
Probably whenever we did that movement analysis, like that first Zoom call that we did, where we
Hmm.
like looked at my mechanics and stuff, and like you kind of showed me like what other guys were doing on the program, and I realized it was specific to my needs and just not everybody else's.
Yeah, for sure. I think that's something that's big is kind of having that communication piece.
Hmm.
Is there anything that kind of stood out to you that really benefited you on like the communication piece or just like kind of Slack in general, that having that community and having the resources and videos and stuff posted?
Yeah, definitely. Like all the videos I watched pretty consistent, and I learned a lot from them, just about a lot of stuff. Like those Zoom calls, all the questions being asked and stuff. They were definitely helpful.
For sure. Do you watch the recordings of the Zoom calls?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, most of the time.
Yeah, good. Um, so I guess then the big question I would say to you, because obviously you had a little bit of concerns going into it. You've kind of been in the same shoes as some other guys that may know me from social media or whatnot,
Hmm.
and being like, I think this guy's legit, but I don't really know. I don't know what
Yeah.
he's selling. What would be your advice to somebody that maybe they just got on a call with me and they're like on the fence and they're not really sure, what would you say to them?
I would say just trust the process. Like, you know what you're talking about. You're gonna get them better, and they should have confidence that you're gonna take them wherever they want to go in their career.
100%. Um, I guess speaking on that, obviously you committed into college and throwing 94 in high school. Has being in the program and like the gains you've made changed your outlook on like what your future in baseball could actually be?
Oh, 100%. Like before I got on the program, I didn't even know if I'd be able to throw a pitch my senior year with how my arm was feeling, and I got on the program and, obviously I started making gains and, now like pro ball is in the consideration for me. So it's definitely a big plus.
100%. Is it is this something that you're like, do you almost feel more focused on it now because you've kind of scratched the itch a little bit and been like, okay,
Yeah.
I have a shot at this? Like, is it something that
Yeah.
you're thinking about more consistently?
Yeah, definitely. When I started seeing, that 94 on the radar, I was like, all right, I can actually do this.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, yeah, I mean, it's been really cool to see your progress, and obviously, goal number one was getting you healthy and feeling good. So the fact that you're able to get through the whole season without any hiccups, without obviously any like major injuries, and also be
Hmm.
able to perform well is like almost icing on the cake. Um,
Yeah.
so it's been pretty cool to see, and obviously you committing and getting to move on and continue your career is exciting. And 100% I agree with you. Like after seeing the gains you've already made just in 6 months of training, I'm like, this kid's got a legit shot at pro ball. And it's just a matter of getting you to continue to be focused, continue to work hard, and make those little incremental gains as you go. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. Anything else that you might want to say to somebody that's watching this video if they're considering icebreaker?
Hey, join the program. That's all I can say.
Boom. You heard it here first.